Well, Captain, I'll begin with you. With the temperatures in Maiduguri, hitting 42 degrees, storing explosives is like a disaster waiting to happen. Is the military really equipped to handle this kind of risk?
Well,
yeah.
Yes, Group Captain.
Is that for me?
Yes.
The question for me, or the question is it for my friend?
For Group Captain, please. Group Captain Sadiq.
Okay.
Yes, ammunition management is one of the trainings that military personnel are given. And we have experts within the military, who are trained to store and handle ammunition, to design armories that can withstand issues like this excessive heat and other distractions. However, it is always, sometimes in the tempo of operation, it could be that some, precautionary measures were not taken, and that's what we are seeing here. But certainly, there are specialists within the military in armament, that are trained to ensure that ammunition is not only procured, but it is stored in guidance documents that are always given. Whenever you buy an ammunition or any explosive, it comes with technical guidance. How do you keep it? At what temperature? What kind of building? Even the building material? What distances you will keep from different kinds of ammunition? And also periodic checking to ensure that there is no leakage, old ammunition is removed, new ones is brought. All these are things that are within the military expertise.
Now, Captain Bish, considering what the group captain had just said, and despite that we had this explosion, I remember some years back we had a similar explosion somewhere in Ikeja that led to the death of so many people. Now, would you say that an element of negligence is also there, because it said when such equipment are brought in, it comes with guidelines how it should be kept. So what exactly is the situation? Captain Bish.
Okay, yeah. Good morning, and thank you for having me. Hope you can hear me.
Very well.
Okay. Yes, I see this issue of weapon explosion is not something that is very rampant here in Nigeria, and it is also not something that is unique to Nigeria. I have not seen it happen, unusually here in Nigeria. And I have also seen it happen in other places. Like the group captain said, the military is equipped with this, specialized skills on how to handle, ammunition. And I think that so far, considering the antecedent of Nigerian armed forces, it has not been a very serious problem. However, accidents do happen when you move them. These are very unstable equipment. Probably the most unstable equipment you have in the armed forces is, explosives. And so every little mistake usually have a huge impact. And so from what I, can make off of it, there could have been mistake in the handling of those explosives that led to that explosion. So it's usually not very, it's not a problem that is peculiar to Nigeria. If you had been following trend globally, there was an incident too in Iran where there was a huge explosion that was suspected to be explosion of, that have come from the explosives exploding. So this kind of things do happen. No matter how advanced or how skillful you are, there will be one or two instances where there could be a mistake.
All right, Group Captain Garba, I would like to ask you, could this also be a ticking time bomb for the civilians and, the military themselves? Shouldn't there be safer systems for storing these explosives?
Yes, again, there are international guidance on how to know where to sight, how.
Yeah, group captain. Okay, Captain Bish, let's come to you if you're there with us.
Can you answer the question I asked?
Well, we seem to have a challenge with both network there.
All right.
Okay, Captain Bish, are you there?
Captain Gerber.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's just said international best practice. I think it happens everywhere. But you see, my worry is that there are some accidents that are not
avoidable.
That are avoidable and that should not be. For instance, a medical doctor. Accident is an accident. Imagine a medical doctor that's supposed to administer a particular medication to a patient and mistakenly administer the medication that caused the life of the patient.
Well, I wouldn't want to attribute it to carelessness, even though it somewhat appears to be so, because like the group captain said, they are supposed to be standard best practices in storing this kind of explosive. We're talking about explosives, and this is something that, you know, the military used to
You just have to
fight.
have it around you.
You know, you have to have it around you. And even with all these explosions, that is some weapons already lost already, you know. So a lot needs to be done, not just about purchasing this equipment, about keeping them safe and under good
Captain Bish is there. Captain Bish.
Yes, I am here. Can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
We can hear you.
Can you help respond to that question raised by my colleague earlier?
Shouldn't there be safer means of storing these explosives so that it's not dangerous to both the civilians and the military?
There is. Like the group captain was saying, these explosives come with guidelines on how they can be stored safely and how they can be managed safely. And there's always local standard operating procedures that have to be followed by the troops who handle these weapons. And I guarantee you that if those standard operating procedures are strictly followed, you will not have this kind of incidents occurring. And like I alluded earlier, this is not an issue that is very rampant in Nigeria. So we can't say that it's endemic.
So will you say that this is a case of negligence?
Accidents do happen. Accidents do happen. Now, there are places where military bases are sited. If they are planned from the get-go. Unfortunately, some of the military bases that we have in some parts of Nigeria have been there for a very long period of time. And development had actually encroached closer to those military bases. And that's why you have them close to civilian populations. Now, if we are following development guidelines properly, military bases are usually not located, near population centers, such that if incidents of this nature do occur, there will be very minimal casualties on the civilians. So it's as a result of non-compliance with development guidance that actually brought population centers closer to these military installations.